Okay, so last week's episode was a lot. If I'm being honest, it was super intense. I mean, I cried the whole time. It was heavy, and it was really, really hard to film. So before I get into the next literally horrible thing that happened in my life, I want to lighten the mood just a little bit. I'm actually really fun, you guys. I laugh all the time, and I'm kind of weird. We'll get there. This story actually defines where I'm at today. And what I really want you to take from this episode is this. Even in the season of my life I call pure hell, there were moments, quiet moments, that were shaping everything I'm living now. The way I look at that season today is simple. I had to go through it to get here. I truly believe God wanted to use me through that season, not because I'm better than anyone else, I'm not. And not because others couldn't survive it, they could. But because at my core, I'm someone who isn't afraid of the camera. I'm not shy, I can take criticism, and I believe deeply in who I am and what I'm called to do. And I believe He knew I would share it. I'll be honest with you. Before I was broken, I had an ego. I really didn't know that I had one because I worked hard. I built everything myself. No one handed me anything. But what I forgot was that God gave me the gifts in the first place. And sometimes He humbles us, not to punish us, but to realign us. So here's the moment. I'm in my bedroom, in my tiny apartment. And look, when I say tiny, I'm not exaggerating. I mean, I could literally touch my desk from my bed, like, whoop, there it is. So I'm sitting there trying to figure out my next move. How am I gonna make money? What am I gonna do next? Who even am I now? And the way my brain works is this. When I think, I write. Not on my phone, on real paper. There's something powerful about putting pen to the paper, something grounding, something intentional. I truly believe writing things down matters when you're manifesting your future. And out of nowhere, a memory pops into my head. My kids were 7, 8, and 11 years old at the time. We were at a dance competition in Los Angeles. There was a lady there that is a huge defining moment in about 4 episodes that we'll come back to. But she was a huge part of a big lesson I learned. I just thought of that. How crazy is that? I never thought in that moment she would even be a bigger part of this story later. Anyways, back to the subject. We're sitting at lunch with other dancers and moms, and one mom looks at me and says, "Why don't you own a dance competition?" And I laughed and I said, "No, I don't really want to do that, like ever." But later that night, I couldn't stop thinking about it. I've never believed in traditional dance competitions. My company was performance-based for a reason. But I did start thinking, what if I can make a difference? Because let's be honest, so many competitions are exactly the same. And I'm just gonna say it, a lot of them are rigged. There, I said it. I've worked behind the scenes. I've seen scores change. I've seen favoritism. And while I believe every dancer deserves recognition, I don't believe everyone should win when they didn't win. Because part of our jobs as coaches is teaching kids how to lose. Loss builds resilience. Loss builds character. And honestly, that's something I wasn't used to either, which is probably why COVID broke me the way that it did. As a dancer, I was always selected. My groups usually won. And even as a child, I felt the responsibility of that. I always congratulated the dancers. My son taught me this again years later. He moved schools during COVID, made varsity football as a freshman, and came home and said, "Mom, now I get it." He told me he accidentally kicked 5 seniors off varsity. And I asked him, "So what are you gonna do?" He said, "I'm just gonna show up. I don't mean to take anyone's spot. I just did my job." And I told him, "You never apologize for your talent, but you do stay humble. Greatness carries responsibility." So there I am, middle of COVID, kids getting older, life falling apart. And I thought, if I'm gonna reinvent myself, I'm gonna do it bigger and better than anything I've done before. And on a piece of paper, literally chicken scratch, I wrote, solid, iconic dance battle. That was February 2020. It is now January 2026, and I'm launching my very first New York studio dance battle 6 years later. That's what hit me this week. While I was crying, breaking, falling apart, literally, I was also building everything I own today. We've broken boundaries in the dance industry. We've created NFL opportunities nationwide, agent opportunities, a national dance app, and now Studio Dance Battle tied to the NFL experience. No ballet, no contemporary. Not because I don't respect and love those styles, but because I wanted dads and brothers to look forward to the iconic battle, where they know they're gonna be entertained the whole time, not just have to sit and wait for sister to perform. Side note, I have 3 brothers who hated going to dance competition after dance competition, so iconic is street styles only. No politics, no favoritism, Olympic style awards only, bronze, silver, and gold. Every dancer will get recognized, but some will lose, because learning how to fail is how you learn how to win. That's what iconic stands for. Next week, we're gonna dive into what happened right after my kids moved into their dad's house. It was one of the worst moments of my life. But today, I wanted to remind you, sometimes the thing you're building is happening at the exact same time you think you're breaking. God gave me strength back then, and I still don't fully understand. But what I own today was built during that fall. Next week's episode was something no one should ever have to endure, and a moment I will never, ever forget.